So we're gonna start with a flower. I picked this fresh. It's a beautiful flower. I was practicing with the other petals before, so I only have half of it now. But yeah, this is a really cool flower because it grows from a tree, not from the ground, but you can use any flower you want. We're gonna pick those petals. While you're doing this, you should have a grown-up help you to set up an iron. So this one's already on and heated up. Again, you need to do this with a grown-up so that you don't hurt yourself. You never, ever, ever want to touch the metal side of the iron, only the handle. So this one's heating up right now. And I have the petals here. Okay. And I also took one of the leaves that came from this flower tree. Now I'm gonna lie these down, spreading them out on some paper towels. Okay, actually, yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 petals and a leaf here. You can use as many as you like. You can also use petals from different flowers. They don't all have to be the same. So now that I have those lined up, I'm going to put another paper on top, and I think I'm gonna try 2. We'll start with that and see how that goes, okay? So we're gonna move our iron around it, and you might even hear it sizzle just a tiny bit because that's the moisture and the water from the petals evaporating as we heat it up. So what's cool about this technique is it's a lot faster to do it with an iron than to put it in a book where a lot of people press flowers, heavy book and with books on top, which is a very effective method, but that takes a long time. You have to wait several days or sometimes weeks. So we're gonna do this now. I know that this is hot because when I put my hand about 5 or 6 inches away, I can feel the heat, okay? So never get closer than that. So I just finished ironing them, and now they're really, the petals especially, are very crispy, which makes them delicate and breakable. So you wanna be really careful. And you can tell it's really thin now and a little bit see-through, so that's cool. This took me quite a while to iron, so you'll need to be patient. I went over the flowers probably for like 15 minutes. It could take longer, it could take less. It depends what kind of flowers you use. So now we're gonna work on the bookmark, and I'm gonna use packaging tape because packaging tape is a little bit like a lamination. All right, so there is our tape. You can see how thick it is. I'm gonna lie down the petals on this piece of tape. All right, so I'm laying down some petals on the tape now. And you know, if you do go outside of the tape a little on the sides, that's okay too, because you can always trim it off. I think I'm actually gonna do that on purpose. I think that'll make it more interesting to have the flowers be in different spots, not all in one straight line. So yeah, it is okay if it gets off the tape. Just remember, wherever you place the petal, even if it falls for a moment, that's where you have to leave it, because you definitely will not be able to pick it up after it's been touching this tape. Packaging tape is very sticky. I'm gonna even overlap some of my petals. Let's see, I wanna put in this leaf. I'm having the leaf go off the page too. I think that'll be a little bit interesting, or off of the tape, I mean. All right, so here you can see I have them all on the tape. Now I'm gonna cut where I want it to stop. Okay, so here I have them all on the tape. Now this side is open and sticky, so I'm gonna put another piece of tape on this side to cover it up. What you could do also, if you wanted, is put this on a piece of paper and then cut around the tape, and your bookmark would be like white if it's on white paper. Okay, here we go. We gotta line it up with the tape as best as we can with the tape that we already have. All right, so now the petals are laminated in here. It's so cool. So I'm gonna take my scissors and trim off the extra clear plastic. I love using packaging tape to laminate things. nice and straight. And now I'm going to also trim the parts that come outside of the tape. You can see the tape ends right here, so all this is not covered. So we're gonna cut that out, or cut it off, I mean. So cool. All right, now if you have any parts that are a little extra sticky, you can add some tape to cover that up. What I'm doing this time is I'm making the tape as long as the bookmark, but I'm going to fold it over onto the sides. So let me bring this camera closer so you can see. All right. So here's my bookmark, here's the new tape, and I'm just gonna tape it onto the edge. That way I can fold this over and hide, or not hide, but seal off the sides of the bookmark. Okay. We can do that on this side too. So what I'm doing now, what I just did is, if this is my piece of tape, I put it half here and half on the other side. I wrapped it around, okay? Like that, like a cover of a book wraps around. Make sure it's about the same length as my bookmark. All right, so it's on there, half of it's hanging off, and now I'm gonna fold the rest of it over. Looking good. I'm gonna trim off the edge because it looked a little messy on the end. So cool. You do not have to do this, but it's just like a little extra embellishment we can add. So I have a ribbon here. You can use this kind of plasticky packaging ribbon, or you can use a ribbon made out of cloth. I think I'm gonna cut this in half to make it thinner. I have a little slit in here, so I'm just gonna pull it now. Okay, so that way I have a thin ribbon. And I need to put a hole punch at the top of this. So this is my hole puncher. This is kind of a big one. If you have a single hole punch, that would be easier. Oh, that turned out great. I'm so excited. Okay, so there's the hole at the top. Putting my ribbon through it. And now I'm gonna tie it in a double knot. And we're done.